rough night. Shut up. You shouldn't feel that bad. The Bruins do that to a lot of teams. One game. We can't get one game, and we've had leads in 3 out of the 4. Maybe you'll beat us at Lake Tahoe. Who knows? Yeah, you're all smug. I got just the thing to cheer you up. Here you go. I fucking hate you. Low-quality fans of a high-quality Bruins team, that's another dub! Oh, another one. Philly, what is happening? You currently have 5 losses on the season. 4 of them are to the Bruins. I mean, we talk about how the Capitals usually beat the Bruins. Well, damn, it looks like the reverse is happening with the Flyers. They can't buy a win against us. And this was a game where, man, they probably should have had it. Another third period comeback, not a massive one this time, but they were playing well. First of all, before this game, there wasn't a lot to really talk about. We're playing Philly again. They're putting Elliott in rather than having Hart, who Hart actually is day-to-day with some sort of injury. I was kind of surprised, especially considering they're starting Elliott. Throw Halak in there. Although I guess if we found out that morning that Elliott was going to play, then you wouldn't want to tell Halak last minute like that. Like, get in gear, it's you. You try to make sure your goaltender, at least for 24 hours, knows that they're playing. I'm going to spoil this right now. There's honestly not a ton to talk about this game, but we'll see how it goes. Game starts, little even stuff back and forth. Carlo takes an early penalty, but we're going to live with it. Our PK still looks great. The penalties are mounting, and I'm actually really surprised we haven't figured this out yet. I said a little while ago that I really think a lot of these penalties are coming from a coaching staff that's chanting urgency. You have to be urgent. You have to want the puck. Go get it. Some of these penalties really reflect that. I still stand by that statement. Some of them, I don't really know what we're doing. But I want to bring up the fact that Brandon Schrader was one of the refs last night, and he is a rookie ref. So he's only played a handful of games, and it's very clear that he's a little whistle happy. A lot of these were really soft, and then later in the game, there were some blatant missed calls. That was really, really strange, going both ways. Flyers fans should absolutely be upset on a couple things in the third. I think Schrader got whistle happy in the first half of the game and maybe tailed off a little bit later on. Regardless, there's nothing you can point to in this game where you go, the refs favored Team A, Team B. Just a really inconsistent showing. And we've talked about this a little bit throughout the beginning of the season. And the refs are really not in shape yet. They're all over the place, and they lost control of that game quickly. Speaking of referees, Wags draws a slashing penalty from Lau. I know we've talked about our power play being a little stale at times. I don't miss Krug. And even with Grizz out of the lineup right now, which I do miss Grizz, I want him back. I don't miss Krug the way that people said we should. I know his power play numbers are insane, and I know Grizz's are nowhere near his. None of our defensemen are anywhere near his numbers on the power play. But you know what I have noticed this year so far? Way less shorthanded attempts for the other team. We used to give those up pretty often. We're still moving the puck really well, and the 5 forward makeup that we do, or having McAvoy in that back slot, or Zaboral on the blue line there, still looks really good because we have the perfection line in front of them. The only job of the blue line really is to either play catch with Marshy or Pasta, simple stuff, back and forth, right circle, left circle, or dump it down the boards, make sure it stays in, let the perfection line do their job. We don't miss Krug. I'm going to say it. We don't miss Krug. I love you, Krug. I wish success for you. I don't miss you right now. Sorry. Okay, now let's get into the fun part where you all saw 4 Bruins in the penalty box at the same time. Yes, 4. 3 of which were defensemen. Cliffy fights Kubel. Now, Cliffy wins this fight. He nails him a couple times, like really feeds him with a couple undercuts. But then it gets really awkward and kind of funny. Neither one has their footing. They're both kind of flailing around like that. The league's different, man. It's a different league. But hey, nice fight, gets the boys up. I like it. So he goes to the box for 5 minutes. The Bruins are about to go on the power play. There's a delayed penalty, but unfortunately, Wags gets a little overexcited after the play, and he gets baited into a roughing call. So it's 4v4. So that's 2 Bruins in the box. 4v4. That's a V, not two. 4v4 for 2 minutes. Almost immediately, McAvoy smashes Farabee in the face with his stick. Now it's going to be 4v3. Not good. And 3 Bruins in the penalty box. At the time, only 2 of them are defensemen. But wait, Carlo missed his buddies. He did. He really missed them. And he went, you know what? I'm going to go say hi. So with about 20 seconds left on the initial 4v4 call, right? On the initial penalty, Wags' penalty. It's important that I explain. 20 seconds left. Carlo hooks Voracek. So now he goes to the box, right? So now we have Carlo, Clifton, McAvoy in the box, and then Wags in the box. Now, Wags is supposed to be the first guy out. He was part of the initial 4v4 penalty. He's supposed to be the first one out. Here's where it gets bad. Now, we start killing off these penalties. There was 19 seconds left for a 5v3. It was going to turn into a 5v4. They open the door, and McAvoy skates out instead of Wags. And then, after about 6 more seconds, the play gets called dead because there's obvious confusion about who's supposed to be let out of the box because the next guy's about to go, and it's still not Wags. Flyers really do get robbed here because there's just too much confusion. You want this to be simple. Let the guys come back out, but let their power play keep going. Doesn't happen that way. We end up killing off all of these penalties, which is a huge momentum killer for the Flyers, and I'm here for it. This is what I mean when the refs didn't have control. Things got choppy really quick. They really got nasty, but we like that with the Flyers Bruins. That's a great series. We love it. But you got to know who's coming out of the box. You got to know who's on for what time. McAvoy is one of our best penalty killers. You don't want him to be the first one out of the box, even for if it's only for 10 seconds till the next guy comes out. That's an advantage. The only good thing you could say about this first period is we didn't concede a goal. And I know that's weird because usually we're not that team. We're not the ones sitting there going, woo, dodge the butt, Billy. Usually we're the like, how the fuck didn't we score a goal? No, we had 5.5 minutes of on-ice penalty killing time during that first period. Tough. This second period happens in 2 parts, and it's pretty quick. Flyers look really good in the beginning, and then the Bruins look really good in the second half. This was such a boring game for so long. And I don't usually mind 0-0 games. I think it raises the intensity when you just can't seem to get one by. And there were scoring chances, but it just felt slow. Everything about the game felt slow, not methodical, just slow. We do get a power play chance. Farabee trips Carlo. It was a pretty soft call in my opinion, but it was a legitimate call. We don't really do anything with it, unfortunately. Near the back portion of the period, of course, there has to be some sort of excitement. So how about Coyle bobbles the puck on our blue line, lets it get past, and then Farabee comes out of the box, and he just grabs the puck. He's like, I'm in alone. Great. Zaboral with a good chase down back check. He unfortunately does take the penalty because he gets all over Farabee. I believe they called it a trip. It could have been called a handful of things. Good call, but that is a penalty shot. Here's the thing. Raise your hand if you were worried. Yeah, me neither. Now, Farabee has been on a tear. He's been really good this season, but it's Tuukka Rask net. So, good luck. This was almost comical. Farabee skates it down. He's looking fine. Rask gives him the 5-hole. You can tell Rask is like shaking his knees. Hey, come on. He goes for the 5-hole, and Rask just like, get the fuck out of here! What, you think I was just gonna give it to you? You think I was gonna give it to you? Who the fuck do you think I am? Bodies, I'm telling you, Tuukka just looks like a serial killer. Oh my god, that guy scares me. The book is out on Wags. Get in his face, and he'll take dumb penalties. Wags was responding to a dirty hit. I thought it was kind of dirty. It definitely looked like he jumped to try to make contact with Wags a little high. Wags got out of the way of most of it, but he did respond. And so, of course, roughing call to end the period. We go into the third, and we are obviously down a man still. But good news is we have scored 9 goals in the third period against the Flyers. 9. I guess now it's 11. It's now 11. Regardless, at the time, going into the third, I'm like, we've scored 9 goals in the third period against this team. Let's go. What happens almost immediately? They get a typical power play goal. Gustafsson hammers one from the point. Van Riemsdyk with a really nice tip right below the 5-hole. Gets right past Rask. Rask didn't really have a chance. It was a great tip, great shot. That is a very strong power play goal. And I'm not mad at the penalty kill because you can only hold so long. No matter how good your penalty kill is, eventually one's going to go in because they have 5 professional athletes against your 4. That's just the way it works. Throughout the third, I was kind of thinking, okay, it's 1-0 in a game that's been pretty even. I do think we could still win this game, but I really got to say this effort hasn't been bad. Now, I did say the game was kind of boring, but the effort wasn't bad. This was obviously 2 good teams going at each other. The Flyers are a top team in our division. They're a top team in the league. You saw the way they finished last year. I was pretty comfortable with where we were. We just needed a bounce to go our way. We had our chances, and a lot of them. And we started to get kind of deep into the third, and nothing was going. Until. Do you remember how I said everyone hates it when the Rat scores? Well, he can't really stop scoring lately. Pasta's up at the point, and he takes a blast straight to the net. And there's 2 guys in front of the net. Guess their names. Okay, I'll tell you. Bergie and Marshy. The Saint and the Rat. Weird mixture, I know. But Bergie gets a piece on it, and he's throwing it at Elliott. But it's bobbling around. Everyone's falling over, and Marshy, as he falls, is able to tuck it around Elliott and in. A nice, dirty goal. I love that shit. Let Pasta score the pretty ones, and Corrali, I guess. I love dirty goals. It's how you win playoff games, so if I'm seeing it during the regular season, I know we're going to do it in the playoffs. Tie game, good goal. Come back in the third, because it's a good goal. No one in this game played particularly bad, and no one in this game played particularly amazing. But I will say, this person I did not expect. 27 seconds later, Corrali has the puck. Bjork had come into the zone, right down the center, turned, protected the puck with his body, threw it back to Corrali, and Corrali's coming down the left side. This wasn't a 2-on-1. This wasn't a breakaway. There was 2 defensemen in front of them. But Corrali hits the top of the left circle, and from that distance, he fires a wrister. High glove. Goalies make this save sometimes. Carey Price makes this save. Brian Elliott did not make this save. It was a perfectly placed shot. And you love to see, he's got the leg, I can't do it. He got the leg lift. Like it just, you can see all the torque on it. Just, Corrali, man. There are highs and lows with him. And that 4th line hasn't been as fun to watch since Frederick and Wags are no longer on it. The guy can still play. And talk about a huge, huge goal. So 27 seconds apart, we score 2 goals, and we take the lead. Now, I'm sitting there, I'm still thinking it's tied for some reason. As the rest of the game is going on, I'm sitting there going, but we're supposed to stay tied so we can go to overtime and don't win in overtime. Like, that's the way this works. Turns out, the boys are tired. They didn't want to play any extra hockey. Which, I mean, rude. But I get it. I'd be remiss for not mentioning that Smitty did take a tripping penalty before the game was over with a 1-goal lead, so that kind of like, buddy, come on, protect the lead. Don't do that. But hey, it is what it is. That is a dub. Great effort. Kind of a boring game for the most part, but a great effort. More importantly, that puts us at 1st in the league, which is awesome. Not only are we 1st in the league, but 8 of our games have been against bona fide playoff contenders, meaning the Capitals, we've played twice, and we split that, but got a point from them in the first game. The Flyers, we've beat 4 times. So there's 6 games against real playoff teams. The Penguins are going to compete for a playoff spot. We've played 2 games against them. I could add the Islanders in there. They look not great right now, but the Islanders are a solid team. We lost to them, but that would make 9 games against real playoff teams. We're 1st in the league. Not many teams have had as difficult a schedule as we have had. I will say that. You can compare and you can argue, but I think we've had one of the harder schedules and we're in 1st in the league. That says so much. Too many third period comebacks for my taste, but we are winning games however we have to win them. And we're dealing with a couple significant injuries. Charlie Coyle in the past couple games, I haven't really seen much of. Has he been bad? Absolutely not. That third line has disappeared a little bit. And I'm curious about that. It's okay. The first line's really picked it up. That second line has looked really good too. But the third line and the 4th line, there hasn't been a lot there. 4th line obviously got us to the game winner last game, so it's hard to include them. I think Charlie Coyle specifically, a little bit of a cold streak. I expect them to pick it back up, and I really expect when everyone's healthy, these 4 lines are going to be rolling. We are a deeper team than we've had for a long time. I really do believe that. Guys, that does it for me. Thanks again for watching. We keep winning. These videos keep being fun. That's how that works. Do we have a little bit of time off? I don't think we have another game till Tuesday. There might be a 0.5 video coming out between the games. I don't know. I'm kind of debating with myself because I have this whole video that I kind of want to do, but I'm pretty sure if I do it, I guarantee that the Habs win the cup. So tell me what you think about that and if I should do it or not. And maybe I'll take your advice. Maybe I won't. We'll see. We'll see. Who knows? Who knows? Low qual, man. He just does things, right? Woo! What a crazy man. Go Bees.